All right, what's going on, everybody? So today is one of those fun review days because through the generosity of a fellow friend and someone that's awesome, I'm able to review this. So the first Awful I was able to review. It's actually a funny story. It's a P5. And early on in my channel, I felt like I needed all the parts for the review to be complete. But unfortunately, I accidentally deleted the unboxing for the P5. And it's funny how things change because now I should put that video up because sometimes people like unboxings, but it's not like the core element. But when I was a new reviewer, I felt like I had to have everything. And if I didn't, then I couldn't put it up. So I never put up my P5 review, but it's a IEM that I like a lot. So later on, we were able to get, I believe from Wayne, the P5 plus 2. And I really, really like that IEM. And then from JTIS, we were able to get what's the one with the Starry Night? No, I just forgot the name of it. It's funny how that ends up happening when I'm sitting here in front of the camera. But we reviewed that one, and I really, really, really liked it a lot. It's an excellent IM. So there's been rumbling for like the past half year that they're going to do a flagship with Awful. And the awesome Audio Amigo was able to secure one, and then he put it on tour. And luckily, I'm one of the first ones to get it on tour. So without further ado, we are going to be doing the Awful Dawn X review. Alright, so the Awful Dawn X. It retails for $1,300, and I just noticed that on the Music Tech site, they have them up for pre-order, and I'm sure they'll be getting them in soon, so you can order them directly from Music Tech. They have 1 DD, 8 balance armatures, 4 ESDs, and 1 bone conducting driver. Alright, so before we get to the unboxing, Awful is very good at incorporating a bunch of different really cool, there we go, technologies inside their IEMs. And this one comes packed with a bunch of them. So they've got the high dampening, pressure release, or pressure balance technology. They've got the broadband electrostatic technology. And they also have the frequency division technology inside of it and the 3D micro resonant sound path technology. So a lot of different cool technologies within the Dawn X itself. So this is the box. Pretty simple affair. Pop this off. And then you have the secondary box. This nice paper separating it. And once you open that up, you see the Dawn X inside. Now, it goes back and forth. I know this is a $1,300 IM. We've done the Monarch MK4 and reviewed it and unboxed it. And around this price point, some people knock this because they feel like it's not this grandiose, especially with the BMG Solomon, not the Solomon, but the other one that they just came out with has lights inside the box. It's up to you to decide basically what kind of unboxing experience you have. I think this is a nice unboxing experience. It's simple. You got your IMs here. Again, you've got this nice leather pouch here. So unboxing experiences are like everything else in this hobby, up to personal choice, but I don't think this is a really bad one. In fact, I think it's nice and simple. Inside this nice leather pouch, got this pretty cool brown felt lining. So nice color match, and you've got your cable here. And then you've got your clamp for your cable here, a nice leather clamp. And then inside you have your tips, 4 different types of tips and their respective containers. So you'll have all your information at the bottom below. But really, pound for pound, it's a nice unboxing. So you know how we do it, the fit and finish segment. I feel kind of bad for Awful because this faceplate does not take pictures well. But when you get it in person, it's actually a very good looking IEM. It's very subtle, but the coloring of the red, just kind of different shades of red inside the shell are actually really pretty good looking. I would say it's a small to medium size IEM, so not a big one. Haven't had any fit issues. The one that I forgot was the Cantor. And the Cantor had a very deep nozzle, and a lot of people I know, or some people felt that it was very uncomfortable to get a deep seal. This one isn't as bad. It is shorter. But for me to get the full sound, I'm using these SpinFit tips, and off the top of my head, I can't remember the name of them. But it as well was better for me to get a deeper kind of fit, and that completed the sound. So it's one of those that's kind of finicky with tips. Some IMs are like that, and I needed to get the proper fit deeper inside my ear for me to get the full sound. Without it, the bass sounded a little bit kind of pillowy, but it completely tightened it up and gave the bass weight again once I got the right tips on it. All right, so with that out of the way, because again, some IEMs are very tricky with tips, and it can completely make or break the sound of an IEM. The cable itself, I haven't had any problems with it. It's a very nice cable, and no issues with microphonics or it being hard to manage. So pound for pound, before I got them and seeing it in pictures, I was kind of like, but in real life, I think the the Don X, see now I'm getting the names mixed up. The Awful Don X actually looked really good. All right, so let's talk about the sound of the Don X. The Don X is a very, very darn good IM. We've got, once I was able to get the proper seal and the proper ear tip and the proper fitting inside, you've got this very strong, not bass head level, but above neutral, strong bass. Good mid bass, especially when listening to Yusuf Days and the kick drum, and rumbly sub bass, very, very good. And there's texture there. So it's a very nice bass. The mids for this price range are just awesome because not only are you getting very clean, very detailed, enough warmth there to make it lively, but you're also getting this deep stage and you're getting a wide stage. Presentation is excellent. So you get air in between voices and instruments, so everything is laid out in front of you in this just beautiful way. The treble has extension, but it's kind of like this cool thing where, like, if you're treble sensitive like me, cymbals and things like that are still there. They're still present. They're not going to be sticking out. Because they're going to be tuned back a little bit. And some people call that smooth. Some people call that safe. But I think they did an extremely good job. Compared to the Cantor was more in your face and more texture to it. So that would be the difference between those two, because this one is more clean in a sense, and it's more laid back in a sense, smoother, as people would say, than the Cantor. But it's very good treble, like throwing stuff at it like Manu Katsu or Polyphia, things, Zencato, where cymbals play a major effect in the mix. I didn't feel like it was lacking anything. So it's just this very mature sound. It's a flagship level sound, the way it should. So I feel like that Cantor should be, I'm sorry, golly. Now that I remember the Cantor name, I'm using it everywhere. Don X and Awful should be very proud of the Don X because it's just a very, very good IEM. And it's worthy of being the Awful flagship because voices sound very good. Through some Billie Eilish added. Have expanded a little bit my testing tracks. So I've thrown in some Leife, the beautiful Scandinavian / Asian jazz singer. I think that's how you pronounce it. I had to look it up. But I've added her, especially Fragile, the live version and the album version, because I think it's an extraordinary song, but it's also very good with female voices. Thrown in Sarah Smile because it's beautifully recorded and it's just hollow notes, like they're goated. We know that. think the #1 selling duo ever. But throw that in there, throw multiple different things. Dominic Miller with his guitar, the Bill Lawrence, Michael League, Snarky Puppy, Go-Go Penguin, Max Richter going to classical. And it's so well and beautifully tuned that I enjoyed it with everything that I threw at it, being classical, jazz, rock. There's some animals in there, so it sounded good with animals. So anything that you throw at it, it's so well tuned that it just sounds good, sounds awesome. So kudos for Aful coming out with such a well tuned IEM. Now, I only do have one worry because recently, due to Can Jam and stuff coming in and out and being blessed with companies like Music Tech allowing me to borrow some sets, my only worry about the Don X is that there is so much competition. Like, I've talked about how the 2K has a crap ton of competition now with so many bangers being released, but 1K to 2K is filling up rather quickly. So, for example, we have something like the Monarch MK4. Then we've got the Jomo Serenity, which is $300 more expensive at $1,600. But we also have the Moritz Enzo that's priced the same as, the Don X, and it has tuning choices to it, much like the Monarch MK4 with the rumble switch. So this space now has become very, very full. And I feel like that it's going to be kind of hard for the Don X to stick out because there's so many choices now. But it would behoove you to listen to it because it is a very darn good IEM. And I think the value for its price is extremely excellent. Like, this is an IEM that you can sit back and enjoy your music and just fade away. It's a very good IEM. So it's kind of cool because I feel like as I've developed as a reviewer and as I've learned things that my idea of is this worth a buy or not is ever evolving. So I'd like to sum up the Aful Don X is this. If you are looking for a really good to great IEM that you can pretty much listen to your library, forget the IEMs in your ear, and then enjoy your music and feel at the same time that you got great value for your money, then I think this is one of the best ones for that out there. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to ask, and I will see you in the next video.